Get ready for an interstellar surprise, because according to a group of scientists, Betelgeuse, the captivating red supergiant in Orion's shoulder, may have already exploded. That's right, we're not kidding. Within the next decade or a few more, its brilliant aftermath might light up our night sky. But how did scientists reach this conclusion? Should we be concerned? Could the James Webb Space Telescope capture the remnants of Betelgeuse? Today, we're diving deep into the latest details. Betelgeuse is one of the most prominent stars visible in the winter night sky of the northern hemisphere. It's a red supergiant star, known for its striking reddish-orange color, which is bright enough to be seen with the naked eye. Usually, Betelgeuse ranks as the 10th brightest star in the night sky, but as you might already know, it has a reputation for varying in brightness. This variability is partly due to its massive size. If we could somehow replace our Sun with Betelgeuse, it would stretch all the way out to the asteroid belt, with a mass 20 times greater than that of the Sun. Surprisingly, Betelgeuse is quite young for a star, with an estimated age of only 8 to 10 million years. In comparison, our Sun is much older, at about 4.6 billion years. This difference is because supergiant stars like Betelgeuse burn through their nuclear fuel rapidly and go supernova relatively quickly on geological timescales, meaning they evolve fast. Betelgeuse might have gone through significant changes right before our eyes. To understand how scientists believe Betelgeuse might have already exploded, we need to explore the evidence. So, let me take you on a fascinating journey to unravel the enigma of Betelgeuse. The story begins around the 2nd century BC, when Chinese astronomers noted that Betelgeuse had a distinct yellow hue. By the 2nd century AD, Greco-Roman astronomer Ptolemy described it as reddish, similar to how it appears today. Medieval observers in the Middle East also reported a similar coloration. While some might question how colors were named or perceived in the past, it's physically possible that Betelgeuse underwent a color change over a few centuries, transitioning from a yellow supergiant to the red supergiant we see now. Given that humans are naturally inclined to observe the night sky, one wonders how many people noticed these changes without leaving any records. After all, such changes likely came with various dimming and brightening events that might not have been documented. Imagine people pointing at the night sky, saying, "Didn't that star used to be brighter?" That's exactly what's happening now. Betelgeuse is known for its variability, but starting in December 2019, its brightness dipped abnormally, which was noticeable to the naked eye for regular stargazers. By early 2020, it gradually recovered. One theory was that overlapping cycles caused this significant dimming. However, observations from the Hubble Space Telescope suggested something unusual. Betelgeuse seemed to have expelled a massive amount of hot material, forming an enormous dust cloud that obscured a large portion of its light from our view. This transformation was remarkable. Betelgeuse, once among the 10 brightest stars, faded to the point where it ranked lower than the 20th brightest, a stark contrast to its neighboring star Aldebaran, which is the 14th brightest. Thankfully, Betelgeuse showed signs of recovery, but its unusual behavior continued. Over the past few months, Betelgeuse has dramatically increased in brightness, surpassing its usual luminosity by an astounding 50%. This sudden brightness increase is quite unsettling for a star known for its variability. While dimming events might be explained by dust or overlapping cycles, a significant brightness surge is something else entirely. It could be related to the 2019 event, where Betelgeuse expelled material, causing a disruption in its plasma flow. The current behavior might be an aftershock of that event. But what lies behind this peculiar behavior, which surpasses the star's usual variability? One conservative hypothesis, which has been widely debated, is that Betelgeuse is approaching its supernova phase. While conservative estimates suggest that the star might be around 100,000 years away from going supernova, today, we will explore evidence that challenges this idea and proposes that the explosion may have already happened. According to a groundbreaking recent scientific paper by Hideyuki Seo and colleagues from Tohoku University in Japan, Betelgeuse has already undergone a supernova explosion, and we might witness its aftermath within the next decade or a few more. Yes, you heard that right. The last observed supernova in our galaxy was Kepler's supernova, all the way back in the 1600s. Through a thorough examination of Betelgeuse's variability patterns, the researchers discovered 4 distinct periodic changes occurring at intervals of approximately 2,200, 420, 230, and 185 days. While the origin of the longest period remains unknown, it is speculated to be the fundamental period, with the shorter intervals potentially acting as overtones. The researchers propose a model suggesting that Betelgeuse is in a late stage of carbon burning, implying it may be on the verge of a spectacular explosion, positioning it as a prime candidate for the next supernova event within our Milky Way galaxy. When it comes to unraveling the mystery surrounding Betelgeuse, there's a bit of a puzzle. You see, there are conflicting observations regarding the ejection of materials and the star's subsequent recovery. The general consensus leans towards a mass ejection event, something not entirely unheard of for stars, though usually on a smaller scale compared to our Sun. But here's the twist: supernovae are real. We actually witnessed one in a satellite galaxy of the Milky Way back in 1987. So while it's possible that our timing for Betelgeuse's explosion could be off, don't plan any trips around it just yet. The tricky part is that Betelgeuse is currently difficult to observe since it slipped behind the Sun and won't be visible again until at least August. As a result, we're left in the dark about what this enigmatic star is doing. What we do know is that it's bucking its usual trends by brightening. Here's something fascinating: Betelgeuse's immense size and relatively close proximity, about 650 light-years away, allow us to actually resolve its disk when observing it. Most stars are simply too far away, appearing as mere points of light, but with Betelgeuse, we have the rare opportunity to capture direct variations in its light output through photography. So, we not only have a star that could potentially go supernova, but we also have plenty of data to collect, including images, even though they might be a bit blurry. Now, let's imagine if Betelgeuse has indeed gone supernova. What would it look like? First off, it would be a spectacular sight, but don't worry, it's perfectly safe for us here on Earth. You see, Betelgeuse is far enough away that it won't pose any threat to our planet. When it does go supernova, though, it won't be the brightest object in the sky. The Moon will still outshine it by far, and the Sun, of course, will outshine both. However, it would cast its own shadows at night and remain visible during the daytime for about a year. The supernova would be visible at night for several years, gradually fading away. There might be a brief period where it regains some brightness, but eventually, it will fade until the familiar shoulder star in the constellation Orion disappears altogether.